Hey there, everybody. This is Mr. John bringing you another one of these Let's Talk Latinite episodes, and I find it very interesting at the fact that quite a few of you are actually watching these videos, want to know more about them, or even my opinion on it, or maybe it's really just the facts on them. But either way, I really wanted to talk about a specific movie. Of course, yeah, it's this one. Now, I have a lot of ties with this movie. One being because it's about, well, duh. But not only that, I mean, I watched this movie during my childhood. Actually, when was the first time I watched this movie? I seen it on Cartoon Network, but, back when they were actually airing all of the older Pokemon movies. And I looked up the title on the list, on like the TV guide, and then it said Pokemon Heroes. I'm thinking, like, wait a minute, isn't that the one with Latios and Latias in it? This is literally when I just became a fan of them, and I decided to watch the movie, and I thought it was a really interesting movie, and pretty much I don't know, it kind of strengthened my fandom a lot between me and the Latias. Definitely, I would definitely have to say that. Then let me just show what my basic opinions from start to finish. When I first saw it, I'm just going to tell you when I first seen it. My first reaction to it in the beginning was seeing the invisible Latias or whatever, and believe it or not, I didn't even know they could turn invisible or Latias disguising themselves or even side sharing. I never even knew that because they didn't display that in the game. Well, I think they had the Pokedex on it or something, but I didn't read it at the time. But I was interested to see all these magnificent powers and whatever they had, and then in the beginning when they were watching the Tour de Ultimar was really cute and all that other stuff. Excuse me while I sit down in my chair. I'm actually not even sitting. I was kneeling just because I didn't feel like sitting, but now I do. Whatever. Back to that. Seeing Ash accidentally bumped into Latias. Uh-oh. That'll fast forward the plot, and then of course Ash is the one to save her. Oh, I wonder. I don't know. That was kind of silly. The fact that you can just see it escalate one after another with the events, and then I seen them playing in the garden together, and I don't know, just seeing all the magnificent things they can do, seeing the behaviors and whatnot, and I don't know. It was really interesting to see the behaviors of two Pokemon you don't normally see in the anime and whatnot, because they don't really express legendary Pokemon very much in the anime. I noticed that. I mean, even Dragonite, how many episodes has Dragonite been in? Well, of course, if you don't include the Iris's Dragonite ones, because that was mainly like almost a full season. But other than that, Dragonite was in a lot of episodes. And many different Dragonite, probably 6, 7, or 6. I don't know, but there was a lot. But anyway, of course, now to move on with the negatives of this movie. Pretty much right after the happy playing garden scene is when the movie started to go like this. Why is that? Well, let's just fast forward to the ending. What happens to a certain blue friend of ours? Yeah, everyone knows. It's the saddest part of the movie. Saddest part of really any Pokemon movie. Yeah, I know Lucario died too, but keep in mind, Latios was the first Pokemon to ever die in the anime. At all. First Pokemon death scene. And Lucario was the second. But that is so bad. But there's more to that, really. Now, many of you thinking this is probably my favorite movie for many reasons. And, well, this is what I'm going to say to you. I may like this movie because it's based on them, but I also hate it as well. Yeah, you didn't think I'd say that, huh? Well, let's rewind for a little bit and go back to the garden scene. Literally right after that, we see Annie and Oakley, these two, I don't know, top chicks working for Giovanni, or by themselves if you're watching the Japanese version. They go in and want to steal the Soul Doom, aka the heart of the water capital, the dragon's treasure. Never steal a dragon's treasure, just don't. And they want to capture the Latios. So, obviously that isn't going to fly with them too, is it? Pun intended. Anyway, I'm really getting off track. Let's see, how am I going to word this? Alright. So already them two was a threat from we've seen them previously. And they actually managed to steal the Soldu and capture Latios with this really horrific plasma type, like, shocking net thing, which is horrific. It was just disgusting. And to make matters even worse, Latias had to flee, leaving her brother stuck like that. Then Latios is used as a battery to power the mechanism that could destroy his entire home and his sister. So it's somewhat Latios' fault because it's his energy being used along with Soldu. And so his sister's threatened, and so is his home. And to make matters even worse, after Latios is finally free and everything looks happy, what happens? Well, the wave-sopping moment. The one that makes everyone cry when they watch it. You've cried too. So, in the end, Latios disappears in a blue flash of light, and his spirit is transformed into the new Soldu, which the island is saved, but I know if I were Latias, I would rather have my brother as the original dragon he was instead of a shiny blue gem. You can't really hug a blue gem, can you? So, what the point I'm trying to make is that Latias and Latios, even though this was their big debut in this whole movie, they got the biggest screw you out of any Pokemon's debut in any movie. Lucario, I guess, too, but I think he had a lot more positives. So, let's recap, shall we? Latios is shocked by a capture net. His sister is threatened. His gem is stolen. His home is greatly being in danger of being destroyed. His energy is drained and used like a battery without any care, which also puts his sister in grave danger again because he can't stop it. And then as soon as he's finally free, he has to suicide himself and save the city. He has to commit suicide, pretty much give his life away to do that. So he'd been through all this torturing crap, minding his own business. So he gets tortured, like evilly treated, and in the end he has to die. What the were these writers thinking? That's terrible. That is, I understand if Latios, like, was kind of, like, I don't know, bad or something. Like, if he did a couple bad deeds and then he got what was coming to him. No. In fact, he did everything right. Everything right. And he gets treated like that. And not only that, his poor sister has to witness the entire thing. Think about how she feels. She has to now see her brother in it as a jewel. And I don't know. There's not much else to say. Besides, Latios, you should be suing these writers or something. You should be telling them that's not what these two should be. I don't know. When a Pokemon, they should be shown what they're capable of. And yes, I guess by suiciding himself, you actually gain more respect for him. Well, that's true. I definitely agree with that. But you went through all this crap just for that? That's not fair in the least. So that's literally the number one reason why I hate this movie. It does showcase them and shows all their abilities. And it shows even a playful side of them. And their intelligence. But overall, they got mistreated in the most worst way possible. There's really nothing else to say about it. I love this movie, but it's one of those things where you go back and watch it a second time. You can't watch it again the same way. In the beginning, you don't know what's coming, so during certain scenes, you feel happy to see the Latias playing, and all this other things. You say "aw" when Latias acts all cute on the swing set. Now you watch it a second time. You can't experience those feelings anymore because you know what the end holds. It's like coming back from the future and knowing what that future brings. You can't experience the same thing again. You look at Latios saying, "My God, you look so happy right now, Latios, but you're going to die by the end of the day." Try telling him that. Ugh, makes me cringe just thinking about it. Is that any way to treat him? Is that any way? No. That's my main thing about the movie. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but really, the only reason why I even own this thing now is because it's part of the collection. I don't think I've ever taken this thing out in 5 years. And that's because the only reason why I did watch it that many years ago is because I was writing my fan fiction, and that was based on this movie. I hated the ending to this movie so much that I wrote a 423-page fan fiction. That's quite a bit of dedication, huh? Can you blame me? I wanted to change the ending. I wanted to make it better. I wanted to make it so Latios lived. And did I succeed? Well, you have to read that for yourself. Now, you've seen what I had to say. Before we go to your questions, there's going to be one thing. On this video that I've watched, everything wrong with Pokemon Heroes, besides literally everything, but the video link is in the description box. There's a certain three-headed someone that has said a comment that is literally the exact opposite of me. And you can decide who is right in this situation. I can't really read it without cringing, so I'm going to have to pretend I'm not myself. And I think that's right. Okay, yeah, we're ready. If you ask me, I think that Latios deserve to die in the end. If you can't fend for yourself or even fight correctly, then why even be the guardian of an island anyway? Being a pacifist does not fit the job description. Latios pretty much let himself and Latios be tormented, so it's only fair for the big man upstairs to finish him off and turn him into a jewel. Well, now Latios has the perfect job of guarding the island successfully without the need to rely on his so-called battle skills. As for Latios, quit your crying. There's like how many Latios in the world? You can easily find another brother. Point rested. Thank you, and good day. Now that I'm back, what the fuck? That's a real comment, and most people are getting pissed at it. I'm not going to dive too much deep into it because I don't know, if you're curious, you can see it for yourself, but don't respond to the comment. You have been warned. I'm telling you, you're going to deal with somebody you don't want to deal with. But who's right? Really? Who is right? Him or me? Did Latios deserve to die? Was that really the intention? Is he really not good enough and that's the reason why he was turned into a jewel? Or am I right? Did the Latis get the biggest screw you for no reason? Or was there a reason? I don't know. Maybe it just proves that they weren't good enough. Now I'm letting the three-headed bastard's words suck into my head. They are good enough. They got a screw. Now to move on to the questions. There ain't too many, though. None of you have ever had very many questions on this. Some of you had questions that were irrelevant to the movie. But okay. Reading multiple sources here. Pardon me. Here's question number 1. What do you think about Tobias's Latios? It's not. That's right. I asked to ask anime questions too. Tobias's Latios. What do I think about him? Well, he looks like the first Latios to ever want to battle. I'm not saying that's abnormal. Just like Dragonite are natural-born battlers and Big Yellow Buddy's the exact opposite. It can happen. Latios and Latias are supposed to be pacifists, but once in a while you find one that actually wants to battle. It's not abnormal, is what I meant to say. Just like there was an episode where Nurse Joy, don't know which one, had a Latias that battled a Rhyperior and won. That's right, Nurse Joy had a Latias. Screw Chansey and screw Abino, whatever the hell that thing's name is. Latias in the Pokemon Center. Yes. That should be the next thing. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if Tobias has Latias. It wasn't confirmed, even though like 70,000 people said, oh, he has to have him because he has Latias. It wasn't confirmed. I agree. He should have Latias, but you never know. I never got to see that far into the battle because Ash sucks so hard. Moving on. Do you think Altamar was once Southern Island? Maybe. I don't know. Never thought about that. Then again, Altamar could be like a different version of Southern Island in a way. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Now that I think about it, I never really talked about the very ending, and I'm going to, about the movie. The very, very ending, like during the credits, how you see the three Latis appear, and you don't know what happened to Latias. Well, here's what I think. I think because Latias' brother was the Soldu, and I'm not entirely sure what Latios told her in the end of the movie. I mean, during the wave-stopping moment, you know that. I don't know what he told her, but I'm thinking she might have fled the island. That's what I thought. And the reason for this is because, and keep in mind, this was displayed in the Japanese version of the movie and not the American version, which is a fail. In the Japanese version, different Latis take turns guarding Altamar. Yeah, those two that were in the movie were not. In the American version, they lived there permanently because their father passed away and they told them to live there, etc. But in the Japanese version, they altered around. And I guess that makes sense, and that's the reason why those 3 new Latis appeared there. Why there were 3, I'm not entirely sure. But the 3 of them were supposed to take the place of the original Fallen Guardians. And I'm guessing that Latias was supposed to leave. I'm not sure on that, but I thought she was going to. Oh yeah, get this. You know how Latias and Ash had such a strong bond. And don't get me going on the whole kissing thing. That's not where I'm going. But in the anime, they were thinking about actually having Ash catch Latias in preview of his Hoenn adventures, and once the Hoenn region, his quest on the Hoenn region began. However, that idea was scrapped at the last second, because I guess there was too many plot holes or something. Which is good. If you ask me, Ash doesn't deserve her. What? But then again, I mean, Ash did kind of save the day in the end, but it was mainly the Latis. And he did a couple of things, but now that I think about it, I know Latias went to go see Ash for help to get Latias out of the DMA, but what? Why? Why exactly did she need Ash again? I don't know. Ash doesn't really do much. I'm getting off topic. But anyway, is Southern Island? That was the main question. Well, put it this way. I would have to say no, only because Southern Island, it's a very far away and secretive island that is not populated by many. And only the Latis go there. And apparently the only thing that can take you there is an Eon ticket. I never got that. Why is a ship that is taking you to a place that is supposed to be secret, nobody knows about it? How come a ship can take you there, but you can't fly on the Latis to go there? Why do you need the ticket? Really? The ship is literally the only thing that can take you to that island. That makes no sense. But is it? No. I would have to say that Altamar is probably an altered remake of it. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I kind of wish they would. I kind of wish they used Altamar in the new game. But of course they wouldn't. Why would they do anything like that? Doing something right for once? No, that's not what Gen 6 is about. Moving on to the next question. Alright. If Mega Evolution existed at the time of the movie, do you think it would have made any difference to the plot? That's a High Dragon question. Alright, I'm gonna answer your question with my question. Why'd you ask it? You know it would piss me off. But anyway. I don't think I can answer that question. You don't want me to answer that question. I can't. You guys in the comments below can answer that question. I'm not going to. The reason why is because I can't give a positive answer. I can't give an answer that doesn't piss anybody off, including myself. So I'm just not going to. Sorry. There is another question here somewhere. Sorry, family interrupting me while I'm doing this. No matter how many times you tell them I'm recording, they don't listen. Anyway. Alright. If you were Latios and knew Annie and Oakley's plan, would you A. let Ash capture you, B. buy a soda and watch Misty sing, or C. help Ash and stop Annie and Oakley? Okay, first of all... Alright. First of all, I'm not good enough to be a Latios. He's way the hell better than me. That's why it's called Team Latinite Production. It's not... Well, actually, no, I did put my name on the channel too, didn't I? But no, they're the number one priority. So yeah, Latios is way better. I can't beat him. But if I were to, I think I would, go save my sister. Yeah, that'd be a pretty good one. Yeah. If I knew Annie and Oakley's plan. That's funny, because it's based on my book, too. Kind of, but not really. And letting Ash capture me? No. Even though it's funny how I mentioned that about Latias. But no, like I said, they're too good for him. But what's with the buy a soda and Misty sing answer? Really? Do you really just pull these ideas out of your ass? I had to say that, sorry. Alright, so... Alright, if Dragonite were in the Pokemon Heroes movie, what would his role be? I never thought about that. What would Dragonite do in Pokemon Heroes? I have no idea. Oh, here's a good one. I just thought of it. Remember how Mantine saves Latias from drowning in that movie? Have him be Dragonite. It even says he rescues drowning people. Hello. That would be perfect. He pretty much is part lifeguard. How many jobs does a Dragonite have? Battler? Messenger? A bus driver? Lifeguard? And even expedition expert. Can lure crews of shipwrecked ships to shore. How many jobs can he have? Oh yeah, and he's also a bodyguard. No, not a bodyguard. A bodyguard. That was his idea. apparently a bodyguard's better than a bodyguard, because a bodyguard doesn't have to be your friend. So yeah, Dragonite can do anything. But in Pokemon Heroes, that's literally the only thing I can think about him doing is that. So yeah, Pokemon Heroes. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Except for, oh crap, that's right, there was one question on the bottom that's actually really important, and I almost forgot about it. This one is, if you can add a new member to Team Latinite, who would it be? That's a really good question. I don't know if I'll answer that. However, you know what? I will answer it, but after this. You guys, that's a good question for you. You guys tell me who would go great with these guys for Team Latinite. Maybe I will showcase it in the channel art soon. I mean, we already got Tweak, if you know who Tweak is from Fur Fibers. I had to keep him in there just because he's a dragon. He's my favorite character from there. And it's been a part of the team for a while. But, yeah, I guess it would have to be a Pokemon. So what Pokemon would be best to join Team Latinite? Could be another Dragonite, maybe. Or a Dratini, or something. But if I had to pick, maybe Salamence, Garchomp, Rayquaza, Sylveon. I would pick Sylveon to join Team Latinite. Many of you were thinking, but you hate fairy types. And actually, I don't hate Sylveon. Why? Because it's so cute looking. But, alright, I will admit, Sylveon is one of those Pokemon that actually does pull off the I'm supposed to be cute look. Because you know those Pokemon that are the stereotypical cute where people tell you it's cute so you have to think that way. Well, this time I'm actually agreeing with Sylveon. And I like Eevee Evolution, so there we go. That's the reason why. Yeah, I would pick it. It would be the one and only fairy-type outcast out of the whole team. It'd be the odd one out. Which, no, technically I'm the odd one out because I'm the only human out of all the dragons. But, no. My temperament is actually very like a dragon, so I fit right in. But Sylveon, thing is the exact opposite. But yeah. Can you do any better? Who would be a good part of the team? I probably won't actually follow any of the ideas, but it'd be interesting to think about. That aside, going back to Pokemon Heroes for one last time before we end the episode, because it's half an hour long. So, this movie, all it is good for me, is to sit next to my card. That's about the movie. That's it. That's all it's really good for. I bought this thing for $5, I think, or yeah, it was $5. Oop, don't be falling on me, there, thingy. Okay. Alright. Yeah, overall, it does show the abilities well, the Latis, and it shows the behaviors well, and it shows the respect that they deserve. But in terms of the proper showcasing, it is a fail because they did not deserve all the crap they've been through. The ending, the townspeople might have been saved, but keep in mind, they didn't witness any of Latios' good deeds. So it's as if it never happened. Only about 5 people, I think 5 or 6, witnessed that whole thing. So therefore, the townspeople of Baltimore they may appreciate the Latis and they worship them pretty much because they guard the island, but they can't fully give the respect because they don't know what he did. But we can. We've seen it happen. So that's another reason why I love the Latis, because they damn near deserve the respect. They went through all that crap in Pokemon Heroes, and they get changed in Gen 6 because they weren't good enough. How many more times will the franchise screw with them? I don't know. But at least we can try to prevent it. However, there's one thing that I have to say about the Pokemon Heroes movie that actually is a really big positive. If it weren't for that movie, I wouldn't have had the huge amount of influence to write that 400 plus page fanfiction of mine. It gave me that inspiration of writing, and it showed my creative side, which helped me in a lot of fields today. So that's one thing. Not only it strengthened my bond between the Latis in terms of fandom, but also helped me write a book. And I'm damn near proud of that book. Put 7 years into that thing. Sorry if I keep talking about it, but it's really one of the biggest things in my collection. Yeah, these plush toys may look cute and adorable and soft, but fanfiction's custom made. And has sentimental value, which I think is better than actual material value. So thanks, Pokemon Heroes. And you'll be sure that I'll never scratch your CD, because I'll never take you out. Well, that is all. If you have any more questions or anything just about the Lattes and Dragonite, just state them right below, and I'll answer them in the next episode. I'm going to wait until I get about 5, 6, maybe more questions, come up with some topics, why not? But other than that, that is all. There's really nothing else to talk about, except for maybe the roles Dragonite was in, which he wasn't really in any movies except for the first one. But I've already talked about that. So that'll be all. I'm hoping that they are never in another movie, even Dragonite. And I don't want Dragonite in another movie. If they ever were to showcase something like that, it'd just be... Actually, if they were ever to showcase anything on the Lattes and Dragonite, it would probably strictly be Megaforms, and I don't want to see that. So leave them out of any movies and anime forever. Yes, forever. I don't want to see it. But until then, you'll be sure that on Team Latinite Productions, we cherish the classics. How about you? Come join the team. Push the subscribe button now. You'll earn 10,000 kudos. Don't worry, we'll send it to you by mail. Well, remember Team Latinite Productions, all fandom is enjoyed. So do whatever you want. You can, I don't know, express your inner dragon. That's what we're about. Most importantly, state more questions below, and I will see you in another episode. Thank you for listening to my rant, and I will see you next time. And enjoy your day.